Okay, I think we are live. Oh, grab the screen. Okay, that's good.
Do you want to run around? Do you want to see?
Let me see that big lovely smile. Right, hi everyone. Welcome to the live cook-along show. Cool, huh? Yeah, not bothered. So the other two boys are playing Roblox basically. They've bombed, they've bailed on us today. But they are in, we might have a guest appearance with a couple of the other lads later on. So today's quite a good one. We've got a good week this week, so we're making a homemade curry today. And for those of you at home, you can either be making a vegetarian version, you could be making a fish or meat one. I gave all the options. Wednesday, we've got a really cool, we're making beef burgers, but we're also going to be making, in addition to beef burgers, some vegan burgers. And they're really nice actually, and they're really simple as well. So I've paired the ingredients right down. The boys are going to get involved in that. And then on Friday this week, we're making some really lovely French toast with caramelised bananas. So a bit of a treat, but still sort of lunch, breakfast-ish sort of deal. So that's quite a good one for Friday. And one thing to mention, we've had loads of people sending in their pictures for the competition. So those that are joining us, you might know we're doing a competition this week where basically all you kids at home, hi kids, say hi. Hi! All you kids at home, I want you to draw me a picture of your favourite food and post it up on Instagram, hashtag Kids Cook with Theo, and basically we're going to pick a winner on Friday and we're going to make their dish next week and dedicate it to them. So we've had loads of entries in so far. Some have DM'd me straight, others have posted it up. Send them in, tag people, it's going to be a great laugh, okay? So that's cool. So today we're going to be making our super easy kids curry. So I'm just going to run, there looks like there's a lot of stuff here. There isn't, I promise. We're just going to run through. So I did mention on the notes that we're going to be having some rice with our one. So this is real life here. We're eating what we cook for dinner. So we're going to be making some rice. So I've got a cup of rice, which we're going to use later. We're going to be making some Raita, which is like an Indian style yogurt thing. So we've just got some Greek yogurt and we're going to add a little bit of spice to that a bit later. For the curry itself, for those watching at home, these are the core ingredients. So we've got one onion that's been diced up. We've got a few cloves of garlic. If you manage to get any ginger, that'd be great. Have that chopped up as well. I couldn't get any, so we can live without. We've got some diced chicken breast. If you're using, you might be using fish, or as per what I mentioned on the link in my bio at TheoCooks.com, you might have swapped that for a big pile of cauliflower, okay? Or fish, prawns, whatever. But you've got that sort of main ingredient. We've got some chickpeas, which we're just going to use to beef it out a little bit. A tin of coconut milk. If you didn't get coconut milk, you could get away with a tin of tomatoes, but we're using coconut milk.
Sorry, is that?
They're chickpeas.
Yeah, like, do chickens actually like?
No, chickpeas. They're not from that. They're these things, right? Okay. Okay, and then we've got some veg. So that's a great question at home. Kids, this is the quiz, Eva's quiz. Do chickpeas come from chicks? What do you think the answer is?
Yes, because it says chickpeas. Like.
Okay, and we've got some veg. I've got some fresh courgette, and then we've just nabbed some frozen veg out of the freezer. And then the spice for this is, I did mention you could just pick up some mild curry powder, ready-made, okay? Or three main spices which will help you make a very quick layman sort of curry. Some ground turmeric, some ground cumin, and a bit of garam masala. So this is probably the most complicated cook-along that we've ever done in like the last 5-6 weeks of doing this. So you've got these spices, or just a ready mixed curry powder, okay?
Can you use the ready mixed curry powder?
No, we use these, they're better. Right, oh, we've got some hellos to do quickly. So, a big hello to Jaden.
Hi.
And we've got Aurelia and Sam. Hi, Aurelia and Sam. We've got Lucas in Northwood. And we've also got Ethan in Swansea. So, hello, Ethan in Swansea. Hey, guys. Right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our rice on. If you've already done your rice or you're not having it with rice, skip it. But really quickly, and just this is how we make our rice. empty saucepan, little splash of olive oil. Now we've got 1 cup of rice. So now, every time we sort of do this, we're mentioning, when I say a cup, I'm not talking 250 ml, I'm talking the mug out you get at your cupboards, right? So 1 mug or cup, whatever, of basmati rice, straight in there. We don't bother rinsing it. And now we're going to put in 2 cups of hot water. So 1 thing of rice, 2 things of hot water. So 1 hot water, let's pop that in.
This is good.
Right, 1 more hot water. So that's 1 rice, 2 hot water. Put a pinch of salt in it, just a bit of flavour, it's not too bland. Okay, and I'm whizzing through this bit because this wasn't really part of it, but I did put a note on the list. We've given that a mix. Basically, put that on your hob, bring it to a boil, put the lid on. Now, bring it to a boil, turn it down to the lowest setting, leave it for 12 minutes, you're done. That's your rice, okay? So let's get that going on our hob quickly. Okay. Now, we're going to get on with making our curry. Right, so Eva, you're in control. Now, kids at home, big first question. What's the question you always ask, Eva?
Wash your hands. You forgot that.
Right, kids, have you washed your hands? If you've washed your hands, I want you to shout out as loud as possible, yes, chef!
Have you washed your hands?
I've washed my hands, have you?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, kids, let's get cooking. So, frying pan. Remember, this gets hot, so we don't touch this. The only thing you touch at home is the handle and the mixing thing. So, what we got here? Oh, we got Jack and Virica. So hi Jack, hi Virica. Arlo is dressed in his chef white steak. So Arlo is an amazing little cook, and Arlo, we've been watching you cook along. You've been fantastic.
Send a picture.
Oh, we've seen the picture. He's got a picture of his full chef whites. It looks incredible, Arlo. Well done.
Can you show
Right, I will show you it. I thought I showed you. I'll show you
me?
now. Okay, so guys, we've got our pan we've put on the heat. Right, Eva, I want you to put a splash of oil in the pan.
Okay.
That's enough?
Okay, right.
Good. Okay. Now to that, we're going to add our diced onions. So I'll tell you what, Eva, let's do this with you. Stop a sec. Ready? Okay. So tip the onions in. Yep. Okay, give them a little mix in the pan. That's fine, that's fine. Okay, give it a little, right, little mix in the pan. Okay, now look, the bottom line is cooking does take a bit of time on something. So the onions, the onions have to sweat down a little bit. So we've put it on quite a high heat, just to get them cooking. Oh, right, come here Luca, come here. And now he's going to do the yolk for us. While we're waiting for the onions to get hot, hey, come here you. Right. So guest appearance from Luca. He's going to make, while that's happening, we're going to make the yoghurt thing we spoke about. Well, do you know what? I'm going to put you here, just because the camera can't see you there. And you're going to make our Raita, okay? Okay. Have you washed your hands?
No.
No. Right. Eva, once that starts to cook, I want you to add the garlic. Okay? Right.
This is
Right,
garlic,
wash your hands.
No, this is garlic.
Yeah, that's the garlic. Okay. Right. No touching that, Luca, okay?
Okay.
Okay, keep staring at Eva. Okay, Luca. So for our Raita, so you've got your onions are cooking and the garlic's cooking. You don't have to do this bit now, but I'm giving him something to do, okay? So to this, you've got some ground cumin.
Can I put it in?
Right, put your hand out like this. No, one hand.
You're dumping me.
I'm not dumping you. Right.
You are.
Show the camera how much you've got in your hands. There you go. Right, drop it in there. So you've got like 2 or 3 good pinches. Okay. Now, Luca, open your hand and put a pinch of salt in. Right. Okay. Good. Put salt. Right. Start to mix that for me, please.
Okay, which bit am I doing?
Eva, keep stirring that. Good.
Ow! Yeah.
Right, Luca, put a little bit of olive oil in it, just a little bit. That's enough. Give it a mix. No, leave it in the pan, honey. Okay, give it a good mix.
Oh, yum. Really like that.
Oh, cameraman, can you chuck me a lemon? No other spices.
Is there
That's
a
it.
lemon? Oh, Nick, knock on the door.
Someone's come to the front door. We're live. Right, Eva, watch out.
Okay. Oops, a dirty.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're ready now.
Right, and to the Raita, just to finish it off, a little squeeze of lemon. Okay, basically, our Tesco order has just arrived. It was booked for tomorrow. So it's a bit pandemonium. If there's comments coming up, I can't see them at the moment. I'm sorry, guys. So we're just going to run a bit blind. Okay. Right. So, your onions and garlic are looking like this now, okay, guys? We want to turn the pan down heat-wise. Right, what was it about hitting? No hitting, okay? Does everyone else have this problem? Little boys just constantly hit. Who's just at the right height, they walk past and whack you in the most awkward of spots. Right, you just keep mixing that. That's your job, is mix that. Don't stop mixing it. Okay, so look guys, onions and garlic have just started to take on a bit of colour. Okay, careful, gently. Right, now, what we're going to do is we're going to add, actually no, we'll see what we're going to do. Yeah, not yet. We're going to add our spices. So turn the heat down, okay? Okay, you can eat some if you want. Right, and we're going to add about a tablespoon of garam masala. Okay?
How do you know that's a tablespoon?
Oh, Daddy's a professional chef, he knows his tablespoon.
I know, right?
We're going to add about a tablespoon of ground cumin.
Smells nice.
Okay. And now we're going to add. Oh, can you smell that? Smell it. And now we're going to add a teaspoon. That's enough. That's enough. Now we add Eva, stop, we've got a hot pan here. We're going to add about a teaspoon of turmeric.
Daddy, I'm going to put my face in that bowl.
So the turmeric's like half the amount.
Daddy, I'm going to put my face in
Don't put your face in the bowl.
Yeah.
Don't. Stop it. If you're using ready-made curry powder, put about 2.5 to 3 tablespoons in there. You need to taste it. Okay, so now you've got something that looks like this. Okay? Right, to that we're going to add our chicken. If you're using seafood, put that in a bit later. If you're using like a cauliflower, that can go in there. Stop it. Right. I know, don't tell Mum. Okay. Let's put that away.
Smell it.
No, stop now. Stop. Right, stop. Okay, no hitting. Right, let's turn that around. You might want to add a bit more oil.
Dad, can I just say something in the lounge?
No, we're in the middle of filming.
Can I show you something?
Okay, Eva, let's keep it on there. Let's give that a little stir.
I'll show you something.
Right, let's turn the heat back up a bit. Now, we're not looking at cooking the chicken basically at this stage. Everyone just legs it. All we're really doing right now is just making sure the chicken is well coated in all the spices. Okay, so that's pretty much what it's looking like. There, okay. Now to that, we've got our chickpeas. We're going to drop them in. Okay. So pretty straightforward right now. It's just been onions, garlic, the spices, the chicken, and we put the chickpeas.
Someone's screen has froze.
Someone's screen has froze.
Yeah, now I'm wondering what's happening.
Okay, so the person whose screen is froze, we've put chopped onions, garlic in a pan, we've cooked them for a bit. We've then added the spices, so a tablespoon of garam masala, a tablespoon of cumin, a pinch of turmeric. Then we put our chicken in, or if you're making a vegetarian one, chickpeas and cauliflower. If you're doing fish, save it for in a minute. So now we've got our coconut milk. Oh, we've got some hellos to do quickly.
Okay.
The Kid family.
Family.
That's probably Jodie Kid, good friends.
Kid.
Family. We've got Monty and Chiswick. Hello from Greece. We're international.
Ruth.
And we've got Lucy and Tom in Leeds. So hi guys, remember send in your comments. Right, you've got a tin of coconut milk here. Let's drop that in. Okay. Right, now give that a little stir, gently. Now you want to stir this gently now, kids. There's lots of liquid in it, so you don't want it splashing up a bit. So stir that to combine it, and you'll see that beautiful white coconut milk is going to start to change colour to more of a yellow as all the spices enter it. So let's give it a little hand, just to get it going. You're doing an amazing job.
Precise.
I know, you're doing incredible.
My mixture.
You're doing incredible. Okay, so I'm not going to tilt this up too much, but you can sort of see there, it's covered, it's quite watery. The chicken won't be cooked at this stage. So we're going to put that back on. Look, if you boil this ferociously, your chicken's going to go really tough. So what you want is just a gentle simmer. No, don't eat it yet. Right, no. Let me explain something. The chicken is still raw, so you can't taste this at home, okay? I know, sweetheart, but remember there's young kids joining in as well, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. Right, so you've put the coconut milk in, it's probably stopped bubbling. You want to bring the heat back up, just so it's a gentle simmer. It's bubbling away, but it's not boiling, so your chicken will go tough. Add a pinch of salt to this. So you want to get some flavour in there. Oh, can we add kidney beans or butter beans instead of chickpeas? Yes, you can. And basically, you can go for any sort of beans, tinned beans you want. You can leave them out if you don't like them. You can make it a fully bean vegan one as well. But we're using chickpeas just because we have them to hand. Okay, so this is sort of simmering quite nicely, and you're going to want to leave that for sort of 5-10 minutes to let it reduce. Now, we've got a load of veg here. Should chicken be browned before adding the coconut milk? No, we're not interested in browning the chicken because we've put the spices in and they've tempered in the oil, and we don't want to burn the spices. And the chicken is going to be more poached in this rather than frying it hard and stuff. And that will keep it more moist as well.
Why is it so bubbly on that side?
Just move over a little bit. When would we add tofu? Okay, so that's a really great question. So people that are using tofu or the fish, you want to add that right towards the end. So what I would do is add your coconut milk now, simmer it down so it reduces and it thickens, and when you look at it you think that's about the right sort of consistency, drop in the tofu then, and drop in your bits of fish or drop in your seafood at that stage. And because the tofu doesn't need cooking, you're just walking it through, and that's the same as the vegetable, same as the fish. It cooks really quick, 7 to 8 minutes. What is the right consistency? So look, I quite like curries to be fairly thick, so I will be going for sort of a double cream type consistency. If you want it thicker, you can either leave it to simmer longer or add a bit of corn flour. If you want it really loose and more of a soupy type thing to serve in a bowl, you could take it off the heat now. But for me, this liquid right now, it's a bit too watery for me, so I'm going to simmer that down some more. So let's let that go. While that's simmering, we've got some frozen beans. I've found like 4 bits of frozen broccoli in the freezer, and we've got some fresh courgettes. So we're going to drop that on now. We're not even going to stir them through, just scatter them over the top. Okay, don't stir it either, leave it like that. So the reason we're not stirring this is we want this to simmer for about another 5-6 minutes. And so for that to happen, if we mix everything in, then they're all going to go a bit mushy and stuff. So we're just leaving them on top. The natural heat will cook those through. So at home, you're at this sort of stage now, you can sort of just let that continue cooking for a bit. Your Raita, your Indian style yogurt, which goes great with this, just to run through what we put in this, was just some Greek yogurt, a pinch of cumin, a pinch of salt, bit of lemon, bit of olive oil. What was the question there? The question is, what are you going to do for 5 minutes? So that's my wife who's cracked a cameraman joke there. What are we going to do for 5 minutes? I think Eva should do a dance for us. Hit it. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. But I'll tell you what we're going to do in 5 minutes. Our rice that we put on should be about done. So just check that. Tip it to one side. No, still a bit of water in there, so we're going to leave that. Oh no, I mean that's it, turn it up a fraction. Okay, so while that's cooking, just want to remind everyone, join in the competition, okay? So this is homework for the kids. Right, kids, you guys watching, this is your homework. I need you to draw me a picture of your favourite meal or your favourite food, something to do with food. Get mum and dad, guardians, custodians, grandparents, brother, sister, whoever it is with the Instagram account. Post it on Instagram, hashtag kids cook with Theo, tag a friend, and we're going to pick a winner and cook that dish next week. And we're going to announce the winners on Friday. Okay, on Friday we're going to announce them. Right, so this now, let's have a little, just fold that through a bit, Eva.
Yep. Can I?
Yeah, I'm just going to do it because it's quite bulky. I like mixing, I do. Right. So if you're unsure whether your chicken is cooked, you can cut it open. If you're using tofu, now's the time you want to put it in. When do you add the ginger? Okay, so ideally the ginger would have gone in with the garlic at the beginning, but it doesn't matter because it's nice fresh. So if you've still got ginger left over now, throw it into your curry about now, it'd be great. What is the honey for in the list of ingredients? Right, so the honey we're going to use just at the end, just to add a little bit of sweetness to this. My kids love curry. They're the Korma butter chicken brigade, okay? They like a little bit of a sweet curry. So I'm just going to add a little bit of honey at the end, a teaspoon, just adds a bit of sweetness. You could do a pinch of sugar if you wanted.
I think Instagram's frozen, can you ask?
Right. Instagram might be frozen, I'm just going to check. Eva, talk to the camera.
Can you ask?
Oh, can I ask? Sorry.
Ask if Instagram's frozen.
So if you're watching this on Instagram and it's frozen for you or it's not frozen, you just throw a quick comment up just to let us know because we're not sure if it's frozen at our ends basically. How's that looking?
Looking bad, man.
Okay, thumbs up, we're good to go. Right, so look, our curry is about done. If you want to make it thicker, you can do a few different cheats. You can add a bit of corn flour to some water, pour it in. You could add some ground almonds. You could do a bit of breadcrumbs in there, or just let it continue to reduce, no problem. So we had someone say, could you use lamb for this? Absolutely, lamb is my personal favourite for curries. No, Eva, he's alright. Eva, he's okay. So you could use lamb, anything you want. This is a real simple, straightforward, cheap sort of curry, to be honest. Right, this is basically done for us, so I'm going to turn off the heat on the curry.
I missed it. I just missed it.
No, you're okay. Right, now the honey is when we're going to put a little bit of honey in. Right?
Can I put the honey in there?
Yeah, you're a little bit heavy-handed though, so only a little bit. Right, the reason we're putting the honey in, wait, is just make it a fraction sweeter for the kids because they prefer it a bit sweeter. So just a little squeeze, that's enough.
Now I'll put some yogurt in.
No yogurt. And we're going to give a little squeeze of lemon as well. Stop. Okay? Stop.
Did I eat the yogurt?
Yeah, you can taste the yogurt.
He's just going to put it
I know, we're family, it's okay. It's fine.
It's not fine.
Okay, so the rice
Can I lick all of it down? No.
is...
No, you can't.
Dad? Right, so the rice is done. You can have as much as you want, honey. Right, the rice is done. So take it off the heat, leave it with the lid on for a couple of minutes, but that's done now. It's called the absorption method. What, do you ever understand when mum minds us? I never know. I don't understand. Okay, so let's plate it up, basically. That's what my wife meant. Okay, watch out, honey, I'm going to grab a spoon. Okay, so ideally leave the rice off the heat for a few minutes with the lid on, but we're just going to run forward. So this is our rice. You know, it's pretty good. Okay, so there's our rice. Okay, watch out, sweet pie. We'll just grab another spoon.
Ew.
Okay.
I need a spoon.
1 second. Right, and now we're going to get our curry. So look, if it's still quite watery, you can leave this on for another 10 minutes. Okay, wait a sec, honey. Right, let me get a spoon, darling. You could leave that cooking for another 10 minutes slowly to let it reduce. We're just going to jump ahead a little bit. So, grab some of the curry.
Dad, can I have that then?
You can in a second. Some of the sauce.
I need.
If you want it a bit thicker or milder, that Raita we made, grab a good tablespoon of it. Pop it in there. Just stir that through, fold it through off the heat. And what that will do is give it a little bit of a tang, but it will also make it a fraction more mild if the kids want it a bit more bland, basically.
We just put it in the
Okay, so look, guys, that's basically us done. A bit of coriander over the top is perfect. That's our easy kids chicken curry. Couldn't be simpler. Look, tune in for Wednesday. It's going to be great. The burgers and the vegan burgers are going to be amazing. Send your pictures in. Please take a friend, tell people. Kids, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.